Do you like food, though?
I was trying to say as well. But also, Canada has to be upset about one thing. And you know what? You know what it is?
Go on.
Hearthstone doesn't have a sorry mode anymore.
Oh, yeah. It's fine. We have a few. I know a few Canadian people who I can get that from if I really need. But we're going to get into game one here. Canada versus France. Both players having the Quest Rogue and Hot Farm going for the Igneous Elemental build. I say it is common, but you know, definitely not a staple pick. You know, you can definitely. I've seen multiple rogue builds that don't have Igneous Elemental. The benefit being that with Firefly and the Igneous Elemental, you already have three of the Flame Elementals, as they both generate the same minion.
Oh, you have 4.
Well, yeah.
That is actually...
Hot Farm's probably just that laugh, and then like whatever he just said then was probably like, got him.
Exactly. Now, I really like the Firefly being played on turn 1, because you don't need Firefly being counted for the quest, so you gain a small bit of damage with this, and also you just play another Firefly on turn 2 with the Covens below.
Yeah, we can see from the French side of the board that drawing patches never a good thing, and it looks like Torque is playing the more sort of standard, I'll say, which is weird to say this early, but standard Quest Rogue with the double Vanish, potentially you can see 1 in hand, but a lot of them play 2 because Vanish is actually insane when your minions are so cheap, and normally your opponents are a lot more expensive than yours.
And you can destroy them as well if suddenly he will have full hand.
Yeah, if you hit a control deck, they build up a board, then you Vanish, you've probably just destroyed like 3 to 4 cards potentially.
And you also like bounced 15 mana, which is not
whereas you've bounced 3.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You're like, oh, this is fine.
Definitely correct, especially with preparation. It's kind of insane when Vanish just costs 3 mana. But what I want to say is that drawing patches in Quest Rogue, I feel like it's the worst case scenario, of course, but it's still the least problematic for any kind of deck that draws patches, because the deck still has value out of a 1 mana 1/1 with charge in its hand. While other decks have like, oh my god, I would rather have that, you know, anything else, even a 6 mana card right now on the opening hand, than patches.
Yeah, I think the benefit is that these style of rogue decks don't really rely on an aggressive opening, so drawing patches isn't the end of the world, but that could be another bounce card, could be another duplicate card.
True that.
And really is taking up a slot. I think it's less how good patches is to play on board versus you are almost -1 card in your opening hand compared to what you should be at most of the time. But Hot Farm just having this just very straightforward plan. Normally there's loads of bounces that are required, you know, in the deck, whereas now we can actually just chain out Flame Elementals.
Oh, now we have it. Both teams draw
fair game.
Fair game, yes. But one thing I wanted to say is that I'm really surprised that Talk, first of all, daggered up and didn't do anything with the dagger. That means that he plans not to redagger on turn 3. And he didn't play Swashbuckler, although he has 2 Shadow Steps in his hand. You can, with 2 Shadow Steps in your hand, you can get a lot of cards that actually are beneficial because you're playing against a rogue. So you can get another Shadow Step, you can get a Ferryman, like that one, out of the Swashbuckler. You can get a Backstab, you can get a Eviscerate, Fan of Knives. All those cards are actually something you could have played in your own deck.
Yeah, Talk can actually complete the quest next turn now. With this, with Shadow Step, Ferryman, and then just play the Swashbuckler next turn.
That's quite insane.
Doesn't have a prep to be able to allow that to go off super early, but still, that is, considering the position he was in versus Hot Farm's opening, being able to just multi-bounce the Shadow Steps here and have the Ferryman on board is pretty nice. But Talk,
he's way faster than Hot Farm right now.
Yep, because Hot Farm, well, what's going to be interesting as well is the Igneous Elemental means there's no need for bounces now, right? Because there's 2 Fireflies, Igneous. The Igneous has to die to get the minions, right? So
I don't know if I like this, though. He is actually at 2. Now he can't replay it with a coin. Sorry for not answering your question, but I was just thinking...
I'll let you off.
Because if you Shadow Step first, the Swashbuckler now, you go to 3, and then you bounce it back, and you still have the coin for next turn. No, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
No, I think it does, right? Because would he not be able to, if he Shadow Stepped, replayed it, then because it's 0, Ferryman, he's in the same position, and then he still has this in hand. He plays it again next turn for the last, which is still 0.
And he has another card.
And then, well, and then he can just coin out the quest. because next turn he'll be on 4. He finishes the quest and goes to 5, right? Unless I'm missing something.
Well, he can still. At some point, he has to pay 1 mana for Swashbuckler. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because he will bounce
Yeah,
back.
sorry. I'm missing something. Yeah, these quest rogues stress me out. But yeah, it is going to be almost around about the same time. Both players are going to be able to get the quest off here. Because as I said, it can't be next turn now for Talk, which is completely correct, and unless there's a prep. But yeah, this is going to be pretty slow from both players. I say slow, getting it out on turn 5 or 6 is slow, but it actually is. The quest roads can go pretty fast.
You can still get a prep from the Swashbuckler here. No way, he actually did get it. I was joking.
Don't ever joke again, Lothar.
I think this is the 3rd time I actually say something and it happened.
Caster skills, that's what that's called. So you can actually replay it, prep out caverns below, if he wants to this turn.
And Venom will not really be that helpful in this matchup when you're getting damage with 5, you know, because of minions. You're probably dead anyway. Yeah. So the Envenom is actually unplayable here, most likely.
Even just play Patches and Glacial Shard. Whoa. Wow, this is actually kind of
This is nuts, yes. This spells GG.
He can freeze the Igneous Elemental so it can't die. Wow, this game got out of control very, very quickly. What looked like a very straightforward opening from Hotfarm was just not as fast as drawing double Shadow Step Ferryman.
And prep from Swashbuckler.
Yeah, of course. Like the prep has really opened this up. But, you know, with Hot Form, when you say, oh, you've got all 4 cards you need, well, getting that Igneous dead is going to be the problem now.
Turn 4 quest with 3 minions.
Does he eviscerate his Igneous?
Well, he can. I mean, you lose the game anyway if you just eviscerate your own minion. But if you don't do that, you have no way of coming back into the game. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. If Hot Form would have actually have a prep, he would still not be able to do it because he only has 1 flame elemental in the quest.
Yep. So he needs to play the 1 he's got in hand and the 2 from the Igneous.
Yes, and that's 3 mana.
Yep.
So you still don't have, even with the prep, the quest couldn't still not be completed. That means that 15 damage that is on board on your opponent's side is gonna almost kill you.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think it's going to be checkmate the other way, where no matter what you do here, I believe the 5/5s will just trade into the minions. So
that
if the
depends
quest
on the draw.
Yeah, but I just mean, so if the quest is procced, Hot Farm has no minions on board, so they're not gonna. There's no minions to give buffs to. Obviously, the buff is constantly live. Then you need to be able to play the minions on board. I genuinely believe he did go for the eviscerate. I genuinely believe that Talk will just try and mass trade.
Well, let's see.
Because
if
if
he will
he
not
doesn't,
be,
he just dies, right?
Yeah, if he doesn't kill his opponent, he needs to trade. That's definitely correct. Yes.
So Venom might be actually good here. Just kill off one of the 1/2s.
Wait, 20 damage, 21, 23 damage, if I'm counting correctly.
Yep.
Because Razopel Volley doesn't do any damage, it just gives you
2/1
petals.
Yeah.
So that's 3 damage, 4 damage, that's 19. 20, 21,
23.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not going to be enough, but this will help clear up another one of the minions. So the 2 petals will actually kill 2 of them. All Talk needs to do is just secure this board once, and then he should win.
That is correct. But no more Envenom. And I'm not sure if Envenom wouldn't be actually be better here. No, it still kills just 1 minion. Because you have 1 charge on your dagger.
Yeah, it's the 1 charge on the dagger that changed a few things here. But you can kill off everything but 1.
Not bad.
And a lot of the time as well, these minions being 4 health doesn't really change anything. Like, it doesn't really matter. 1 we've already seen eviscerate. Now they can't be backstabbed. So the 4 or 5 health doesn't matter, especially in the mirror when you're either doing 1 or 5 most of the time, right? So it just doesn't make any difference here. Stone Tusk Boar is a charge minion as well, but Hotfarm wasn't short of those because he had patches available anyway. So now the best he can do is kill 2 of these minions with the quest, the patches, and then the flame elemental on the board.
Still not terrible. Although, if that patches would have been in the deck, he would have been able to play a pirate and then charge with the patches out of the deck.
Yeah, wouldn't have been able to kill 3. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have the dagger, so he wouldn't be able to attack with deckhand, but at least he would build board with another minion. So there's a small difference of having the patches or not in the opening hand.
Yeah, and I think the discussion Team Canada are having right now is what do we even do? And I think it's the play to just try and hang on for another turn also. And, Blade of Cthulhu's going to be interesting because it's just a dead card. Pretty much like there are so many cards that the Swashbuckler could have got, but Blade of Cthulhu, turn 9, that is a long time. Like, that's too far away to make an impact on this game.
To be honest,
just going for it.
I would rather get the cartoon and prep than not prep another card. The prep was insane. The prep won the game for France.
Ooh, well this is actually...
Is it lethal? Should be lethal. No, wait, because Vanish is for 6, so you don't have access to 1 more mana to charge with a minion.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, there's 10 damage in hand. Well, 11 in hand from Hot Form. Next turn, and that's like unstoppable damage as well. So I think Talk has to trade here. But if Hot Form draws 1 more charge minion,
he suddenly wins.
It's just the game. That's how like straightforward this game becomes once both players have Crystal Core live. It's kind of crazy here. Right.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna vanish. Okay. So now Talk has 2 charge minions. So does Hot Form, but Hot Form needs 1 more. As the Flame Elemental won't charge. So nice vanish there from Talk. What's this gonna be?
Is it a charge minion?
Ferryman.
It's a Ferryman! That's gonna be game.
Wow.
And although Torque had an insane draw from his own Swashbuckler for the prep and the quest, it's still gonna make it, right? 4, 6, 7 mana, right? That's what I need. Yes. I was confused for a second because they didn't go for it
just
instantly.
double check, but yeah, well, the thing is, as I said, all these players are talking with their teams, and when that happens, you go, okay, guys, is this definitely lethal? It's worth the question, worth double, worth triple checking here. And Hot Form has got it. What a swingy game that was. Hot Form looked like he was in a fantastic position right at the beginning because he just had the 4 minions he needs,
but it was
naturally without bounce.
And that was Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my god. You had problems with French, I have problems with English, that's why I'm a caster.
So we are going to get straight into this game. There is a need on the Paladin versus APX Void on the Pirate Warrior. So it is Pirates. We're going to see what options Unid has to defend against this. Double Doomsayer seems okay.
Seems reasonable against an aggressive deck, and even when you think about it, Doomsayer is pretty decent against
the Zoth Paladin.
Taunt Warrior as well.
Yeah.
Because you can just play it, your opponent skips a turn basically, because he doesn't have anything to do. All the non-minion cards are reactive, apart from Shield Block. Every other card is a reactive card, so most likely he will just skip a turn. Then you get to develop your own board, and you might take advantage of the fact that the taunt minions have just low attack. But in this case, the mulligan was being made without certainty of what are you facing.
Yeah.
So just the Doomsayer, one of the Doomsayers was being kept.
So this hand now looks far worse for Unid here. Tyrion, that is a long way away for 8 mana. Cairn, a little bit closer in the form of 6, but you know, Cairn does nothing the turn he's played, right? The idea is he's to stick him in, and with the Infested Tauren, pretty sure this is a N'Zoth Paladin to be able to resurrect all those death rattles. But it's just, you know, the Infested Tauren is nice, but to be honest, 2 attack, 3 health, very easy to deal with Pirate Warrior by the time Infested Tauren comes out.
The problem with the Tauren is, as you said, the low amount of HP. It just dies to Fiery War Axe, and the damage goes through. Everyone will ignore the 2/2 that comes out of it. It's not a Sludge Belcher anymore. It just doesn't soak that much damage. When you think about it, Sludge Belcher right now would have been the nuts. Yeah. Probably would have been played in every single deck. I mean, apart from Aggro Warrior.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher is a very, very strong card, but look at the options APX Void has here. He can just play Deckhand and just get the patches onto the board, get it out of the deck, most importantly, and then just start chipping away. Could just go for the Fiery War Axe or just the Blood Cell. I mean, Deckhand on 2 mana, sorry, not that great. Blood Cell Raider is probably the more reasonable choice here. He could just Fiery War Axe,
I like the War Axe,
and then play the Raider and the Deckhand on 3. The Fiery War Axe fakes out the potential that it's Control Warrior.
Well, he didn't play a quest on turn 1. I think that's out of the door.
That's true, yeah.
Out of the door.
Quests.
But, well, actually, wait a moment. He could have... I didn't pay attention to the mulligan, but if he mulliganed the first left card...
Yeah, it could have been an option.
Could have been an option.
Mull the quest away.
But it's out of the... It's out of the equation because the Pirate Warrior played his first pirate, and now you need knows for like 100%. This is an aggro deck. The question is, if you play the Doomsayer, now it's free attack on board, and your opponent has a free mana. As actually an easy way of dealing with that, even with a single card, which is Heroic Strike.
Yeah, I think the Doomsayer now becomes very risky, but it depends how Unid's deck is built as well. Is there Equality Consecrates to then Equality Conk Doomsayer?
Right.
You'd imagine so, but we never know. So this Doomsayer is going to be able to be dealt with the addition of the Deckhand and Fire War Axe. And, you know, Unid hasn't got great options here. He has Coin into True Silver or Infested Tauren. But the Infested Tauren, as we said, gets dealt with very easily. So we may see True Silver used to clean up the 2-3. There's a Consecrate, which does help a little bit going forward. The problem here is there's no way to clear all the pirates, which means Bloodsail Cultist next turn is going to make that War Axe a 4-2.
Oh, and that is painful. Cultist is one of the most powerful cards in the deck, but they just require a little bit of synergy. And I would say that without the patches, the Cultist wouldn't be as powerful as it is right now. Because it gives you that synergy for 0 investment. You just had to play one pirate, that one pirate might die, and you still have a pirate on board because patches was just played for 0.
Yeah, secondary level insurance policy. It looks like Unid is going to go for the True Silver Champion, though. This is just guaranteed to do something, right?
Yeah.
He's going to use it, equip it, and deal with the 2-3 here. You know, there's still pirates on the board. Apex Void is probably going to go for the Cultist to get the instant value. And ooh, okay. So this is also reasonable. If he doesn't swing this turn, he can go Bloodsail Raider and Cultist next turn.
Yes, but then
So he can just Smoke on face.
Okay, this makes sense when you don't have another weapon in hand, and I actually like the Cochrane lead more because of that. When I think about it more, the curve out on 5 might be way more important than just one swing of the weapon right now, just because of the fact that you don't have another weapon. Like, if you would have had an Arcane Reaper instead of the Heroic Strike, I would probably go with the Cultist here and just swing with the weapon. But here, you are just way more efficient with the damage because of that fact. Still, the Cultist just dies to True Silver Champion.
Yep.
So it doesn't really buy that much damage. In this case, would have to be pushed to swing the True Silver Champion into the Cochrane Elite, and that deals 6 damage, and not just 1. Because of the Cultist would just, you know, deal 1 effectively.
Yep. So Unid's got a few options here. I imagine he's just going to clear up the Cochrane Elite and go for the Infested Tauren. The Tauren does kind of battle for the board a little bit, even though you can see the weapon would trade straight into the first half, the 2-2 clear up one of the minions afterwards as well. Anything else just feels too slow. Consecration does not do enough. Acolyte, you're just asking to get punched in the face again. And Dirty Rat could be very risky with no real follow-up other than hero power behind that.
Still doesn't look great for Unid and French team.
He is edging closer to that Tyrion, though. Just slowly but surely,
but
a little bit closer.
Still
Captain
14. Oh!
Greenskin. I mean, that's also a good card.
Captain Greenskin. But still, you go for the multiple minions because it's 1 turn away from Consecration with equality. So cards like Cultist or Bloodsail Raider are outside of that range.
Also, as well, this is just the harder combo to get off.
Yes.
Like, Captain Greenskin just does the buff like this, the upgrade style buff on its own. It just does it. You know, you play the card, get the buff. Whereas this, you know, you want to chuck it on while you can, where you can get the most value. As you said, it does dodge the Equality Consecrate as well.
But it will most likely require a trade with the deckhand this turn, just to play around the Consecration.
Yeah, the deckhand's done the work, right? You kill the 2-2 as well. You hit with the weapon, use the deckhand to clean up the ooze or the slime, and then you have what, like 9, 10, 14 power represented.
With
And
the Heroic Strike?
Yeah, without minions or anything else in hand, just 14 damage straight up.
Let's see what will happen if the deckhand trades or not. Patches will deal the 1 damage to the face 100%. Now it's all about the deckhand. It goes face, so he will lose the Raider to the Consecration if it happens. What are the other options? The other options are Dirty Rat into Aldo Peacekeeper. So Unid was paying attention 100% to the cards being drawn. So he knows that the Captain Greenskin was just drawn this turn, so it could have been not a creature, but now it is, and it's a 5-4. It's actually, this is the worst thing that can happen. It's either Nagakosa or a Greenskin. They actually have the same stats, and just 1 mana more for the Greenskin. Actually, it's an interesting context, right? For 1 mana more, you pay for 1 more durability on your weapon.
And a guaranteed durability, because Naga Naga requires a oh no, it
No, it just requires
weapons.
weapons.
It right?
It's
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly
so you're right,
the same,
you're right.
but it
It's
gives
one more mana for the
durability.
durability and the extra swing. But anyway, without our Peacekeeper drawn, this play looks way better than just the trade Consecrate. Because now you can just deal with it over a couple of turns. Dirty Rat is a pain to deal with, and any minions that actually attack Dirty Rat, other than the small ones, of course, actually soften them up for Consecrate next turn to clear the board anyway.
Another cultist. So the Fury War Axe was played on turn 3. It's turn 6, and it still will have charges.
Yep, and the cultist means he can swing and then use the Raider to kill off the Dirty Rat as well. Very clean.
Very clean. Unless... Nah, you don't use the Heroic Strike. There's no point in it. For how much damage can you push this turn? 5, 7, 10 damage to the face. Paladin will be at 6 HP and it's turn 6.
I wonder if APX clears all of the minions off because of Spite Ridge Steed.
Well, he didn't do that with the Tauren. So he wasn't playing around the
Yeah,
Consecration.
but so at this point, Spite Ridge Steed is the only thing that actually just stops you winning the game, I think.
Does he anticipate it that it's being played in this deck?
Does anyone anticipate any cards that are being played in a certain deck at this point? I don't know. I think like N'Zoth Paladin, he's got to fill out some gaps somewhere. Spite Ridge Steed seems like just a reasonable high value sort of anti-aggro card. So I think it could be played. I like the clear from APX Void because you've also got to think, what's the one card on 6 that completely stops me winning the game, right?
Yeah,
Spite Ridge Steed is one of them, and look at the amount of power available with that Heroic Strike.
And he actually did play around it, and
there
that
we
it
go.
is. 2-0 for Canada. Match point. Will it be the third match that will end up in a clean sweep?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, the N'Zoth Paladin, you know, I know you and Salter were talking about Paladin. There's actually good places around here. And hello, Purple. This looks like a Yasharaj deck.
Wow.
Given away by the fact that Yasharaj is in the opening hand, just in case you didn't spot that little nugget of information. But there's been a lot of players, I think most notably Frozen, experimenting with an extremely heavy ramp druid. Yasharaj, obviously Barn slips in there, but when you look at the list Frozen's been playing, it looks great. You look at a normal deck list, and the curve is pretty normal, right? You know, there's a roughly even amount of curve drops and cards in the deck. You look at this, and it's like, oh yeah, there's like 2/2 drops, 3/3 drops. Oh, it starts now at 6. You know, like it just goes like tons of 6+ drops in the deck and barely anything under that. Earthen Scales is a nice inclusion. We talked about it in the Jade Druid matchup that we cast earlier today. But, you know, with so many big minions available, 1 mana gain, that much armor is pretty cool. There's Barnes and the chance to just play it on turn 1.
With Ishar, turn 1, kind of crazy, right?
Do you do it, Lothar? That's my question.
Well, with my experience in Ishar, even when you have only 4 minions in your deck, you're not going to hit it reliably. So
That just screams lack of confidence to me, Lothar. It's all about that. Just turn 1 it, you get Yasharaj, win the game.
too much Madame Goya Shaman, man.
Well, but this could just straight up win the game.
Yeah, of course.
And then
It's
the
a
match.
high roll that can just give you a free win. But I wanted to say, not only Purple is jacked as hell, but he also changed his skin color to actually purple.
Yeah, he's just role-playing. Subtle would be proud, no doubt. Double Primordial Drake in the opening hand shows the kind of high curve that this deck is going to run. I'm excited to see what the big drops. Purple not going for the Raven style play of all in every single time. I'm the type of guy who just spams Astral Communion even at the worst case scenario just to see what happens.
The Dirty Rat might be detrimental in this game, although
If it gets Barnes.
if it no, not that. It can be played on turn 7, example, with a brawl.
Yep.
Or later on. And then it gets out a huge minion, it gets killed with no, like, you know, real effort. That's actually amazing.
Well, it's what's swiftly becoming the standard setup for these control warriors is that you build up your taunts to just delay the game, then you go Dirty Rat, Brawl, and then play Sulfuris on 10, and then you can start just setting up for, you know, your hero power then dominates the board. Do you see the Giant Anaconda in the hand as well? Another card that, again, wasn't on Frozen's list at least, where this death rattles and pulls out a large minion from your hand, I believe.
Yes, from your hand, it just gets you a 5 attack minion or more on the board.
Primordial Drake, not a 5 attack minion.
That is true. Actually, it wouldn't pull anything out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Interesting.
Okay, well, the discover options for the taunts. Bog Creeper does feel nice, but that is some hefty long-term planning when often, maybe even against this type of druid, you want to just get, like, I infer Grizzly this, well, maybe actually Faceless Shambler, just to be able to get them out early and spam them out quick, as currently, other than Dirty Rat, there's nothing taunt-wise to play next turn.
I don't know about that. I like the Bog Creeper. Just like druids don't really have much to do about
They
it.
have Yashirages.
HP minion. Well, if they can innervate out Ishar, let's say this turn will play Wild Grove, they are going to 5 mana.
It's gotta be Coin Barn.
8. If they're gonna hit like another Wild Grove and then top deck Ishar, sure.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. I told you. I mean, look, I wanted to turn 1 Barns, but come on, Coin. Go.
Wild Grove this turn, and next turn you have 5 mana, you can innervate out the Giant Anaconda, but the problem is, then you still don't have a 5 attack minion in your hand.
Yeah, sure,
so
I'll
it's not the
get it.
best. What was that?
Oh!
Well, that's sick.
Pulls out the Anaconda.
Yeah, it's an Anaconda and an Anaconda.
Woof!
People from the 90s are like, where's Jennifer Lopez?
You know what's really funny as well? The artwork for the Anaconda is great, but every time I look at it, so what it's doing is wrapped around like a beast, right? And it's the beast's arm it's killing is just sticking out.
Oh, it looks like
But
an
it looks
arm,
like the
right?
Anaconda's got an arm, and it's like gesturing to some extent.
She's a very evil Anaconda saying, $1 million!
Yeah, I know, it looks great. It looks like some kind of gesture. I feel like this should just be a nice, like, you know, a cup of a nice non-alcoholic drink in the hand there, because this is a PG family show.
The question is, do you attack into the other Anaconda? If you get another minion, do you go into this vicious circle?
Oh, he's doing it. He's going to get rewarded.
You were going to get rewarded. No more minions with 5 attack.
That is a tough call.
And look at that. Now the Dirty Rat will get played, but they will pull out.
He doesn't think there's any minions.
Exactly. That's the read. Oh, there are no minions in the hand. I'm just going to jam the Dirty Rat.
This was genius by Purple with this Anaconda play. Absolutely genius. He just bait and switch. 100% debated there for best Marmot as the Volcanic Drake does come out. So what could have been a amazing sort of tempo gain to a certain extent for best is sort of switch back on himself after going for that Dirty Rat, but the read said there was no minions, or no big minions at least.
Could have been anything apart from something that has 5
Could have been anything but a big minion.
Suddenly a 4/8 appears for 0 mana. That's a good ramp, I would say. It's like 4 innervates.
Yep. He could go a little bit wider with Maya Keeper now, and this will put him in a position to innovate out another Primordial Drake next turn as well, which could help out, but also Purple needs to be very, very conscious of the brawl, right? You don't want to go so heavy on the board that one brawl will wipe you out, especially when only one of your minions is big at this point. You know, the other 2 minions that could survive a 3/3s, that's not going to cut it versus Control Warrior.
Definitely correct. And if you would like to kind of overextend into a brawl, but not really, he has to get the second Anaconda and another minion in his hand.
Yeah. Death Rattle's often the way to make that brawl a little bit less brutal for you if you end up losing them. Ali Armsmith gonna hit the board. Doesn't look as intimidating on 5 as normal when there's a Volcanic Drake chilling.
Oh my god. Imagine if that would have been in the hand and the Anaconda just died. Suddenly a Deathwing appears with no drawback, just a 12/12 chilling on the board on turn 5.
It just would have been great with like Barnes, 1/1 Anaconda. Okay, let's kill the Anaconda. Into another Anaconda. Okay, let's kill that Anaconda. Oh, Deathwing! Like, well, already though, to be honest, you can see how this deck can kind of just get out of control, right? You know, the minions are so big and there's a couple of chances to get them out. Even like Innovate Anaconda on 5 could really start to snowball the deck.
Definitely correct. Now there's a way for the best mod to clear the board and play Bog Creeper next turn. The Sleep with the Fishes alongside Acolyte of Pain and Whirlwind actually draws you 2 cards as well. But then you destroy, of course, the Acolyte of Pain. But it's still okay, right?
I mean, I'd be okay with that, yeah, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Acolyte isn't exactly going to get some good trades against this deck.
You want to get the draw out of it anyway, so it can die.
And also, let's be honest, probably the strongest Sleep with the Fishes you're going to get. Like, against this deck, right?
Yeah.
Probably doing the most work it's ever going to do. Draw you 2 cards as well. Curator, going to be nice to actually start to refill the hand here. There's a brawl as well.
The question is, how many dragons is Best Mammoth running? He didn't draw any yet, right? Okay, so there's not a problem.
Yeah.
He'll definitely draw at least one.
Also, bear in mind there is no quest for Best Marmot here. So he is
Right.
not going to stack the quest. He is not going for Sulfuras. And that might have been a nod of presuming it was aggro druid.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not to that, because of the fact that against an aggro druid, if you play quest on turn 1, because of that you might just die.
Yeah.
Because you have less chances to get few War Axe and or a Taunt minion, or even maybe an Ammo Smith. You know, it's important to have that one more card against aggressive decks.
A few options now. Nothing quite feels great here. Although, you know, the Bog Creeper, I think I like the Curator this turn. On curve, still doesn't die to the Drake and just starts to, you know, fill your hand a little bit more, give you more options for the following turns.
Seems like it. Yeah, I like it as well.
Also, it depends how many beasts he runs as well, because he could play Direhorn Hatchling and let it die, and then Bug Creeper, and you might draw the 6th.
Well, he plays Direhorns 100% and has a Deathwing of his own.
Okay, is this match going to be whoever plays Deathwing first loses, because the second Deathwing wins?
Might happen.
The
Who
Menagerie.
knows?
It's for guests only.
So for purple,
That's a good giant anaconda.
for purple, it's actually important to pay attention to the dragon that was being drawn from the curator, because if there will be at any point of the game a good situation to play Primordial Drake and they will not get played, that means that's a Deathwing.
Yeah, more likely. It's definitely not as your Drake. So I'll tell you that for now.
Yeah, unless someone is cheating and just pulled it out of
They're just playing
his
wild.
sleeve.
Yeah, no, these Deathwings are going to be very, very impactful. And now, there's also a strange decision here in the next couple of turns for purple, is that maybe he wants the Deathwing effect. All of his top decks are actually should be, on average, pretty strong,
I
right?
agree.
Because his curve is so high, and he might need it to clear a bigger board from Best Marmot here. So it's very tricky, because if he plays the Anaconda, Deathwing is the only minion that gets pulled, because Ysera is only 4 attack.
Yeah, and then it gets overextended.
It could just be pulled Whirlwind, like Whirlwind Execute, and you're like, oh no.
Exactly.
Wow, this is very, very tricky in this matchup.
Oh, look at that. Best Mammoth actually pulled a Primordial Drake, so all I said about Primordial Drakes doesn't matter now, because he can actually have 2 in his hand, if he plays the one that he has it.
Yeah, imagine he's going to hold on to the Drake, though. Drake's actually really nice for turn 10 execute combo.
Yes,
It
definitely.
sounds expensive.
Or the sleep
Got my 10 mana combo to execute. But yeah, exactly. Any sort of damage, proccing effects like that are going to be really nice, because it sort of stabilizes your board, because the health is just so high on that thing. And, you know, removes a big threat in the same turn. So I imagine this might just be a, Bog Creeper, maybe the Oni Direhorn plus hero power.
You know what can happen? Best Mammoth actually can draw the quest when he doesn't have enough taunt minions in his deck anymore.
Yep, that's one of the prices you may end up paying if you actually mulligan away the quest. Need the Bug
Such a
Creeper.
weird deck. Every minion has taunt, so effectively not a single minion has taunt.
Deathwing number 2. The more I see on this deck, the more I'm guessing this is extremely close to the version Frozen was running. I'm guessing Purple either made it with him, practiced with him as well to build the deck. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And yeah, the double Deathwing combo is just signature, that deck 100%. These Giant Anaconda, now you run the risk of, you want the Anaconda to hit Dragon Lord. Then when that is killed, you get Deathwing number 2 and Ysera. This gets very, very tricky. These Anacondas, I remember looking at these cards as well, when when the set was announced, and I was like, Anaconda, okay, it doesn't look amazing, but the effect is powerful.
Yes, definitely.
When we've previously seen heavy like Yesharaj druids, right, before, like the effect could be potentially very, very powerful. We're gonna see Ysera.
I like it.
Down from purple now. Just let's just keep it steady. You know, just drop a big dude on the board, or a big dudette maybe, and start generating more value. Cards like Dream as well are going to be really nice to gain some extra damage to just sap away the taunts.
Yeah, I wanted to say that like 5 minutes ago, but it didn't stop talking, so I just was, listening. Anyway, now we have Primordial Drake. It seems like a good turn to play it, although you can't really deal with the with the Asteroid now. So is it the turn to brawl? It seems like it is. 1 out of 4 to win the brawl. Almost. And left the best target for Promoter Drake.
I wanted to say that, but you wouldn't stop talking.
I actually give you a lot of time to speak.
No, I was giving you time to speak. Okay, the Bloodtooth Brave coming down now is going to challenge the Curator, as now we've deemed we are both allowed to speak. And Wrath is going to be pretty nice, actually, for Purple to be able to clear this minion up.
Yeah, definitely correct. Is he even playing any kind of spell damage creatures here? Not really, right? Azure Drakes are not in
Unless there's randomly a Malagos.
Might be the case, right? And
We've seen no spells, though.
Well, we have seen Swipe, and that's Wrath.
You'd rock
right?
Moonfire if you were putting Malagos in a deck.
Nah, not really. I feel like it's okay. Like, if you suddenly get Malagos and, you know, out of the Deathwing.
This is going to be
good.
Sorry. If Beast Bahamut just says, okay, I'm countering this with Deathwing. It's just like, we get full Deathwing on Deathwing action.
It's like Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, what
Gojira, sorry.
What do you do? A couple of options here for Best Mama is he can play Stonehill Defender, the Daihorn as well, and just create like roadblocks for Deathwing to keep trading into, because he kind of needs the execute for whatever Dragonlord, Deathwing Dragonlord is going to pull out onto the board, if anything. Or you take the risk that there's no dragons available.
That's one thing, but for Best Mammoth, the long-term plan is that if there's a Deathwing being pulled out of the Deathwing, then he has the Deathwing of his own to deal with the Deathwing, and then Purple doesn't have any answer to the Deathwing.
He might play Naturalize.
I used 6 times Deathwing in 1 sentence, and you didn't even react.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
Right.
There's a lot of Deathwing going on.
Massive! I love this animation. I know we talk about it every single time, but it's just so cute.
Okay, so Best Mama is going to go with the speed bump tactic, at least for now, to open.
Is he a car?
Options. Shush, I don't like this new attitude from you, Lothar. You've got too much sass.
All right. I'm gonna back it down a little bit.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Nourish. So the card draw mechanic for the deck to get more big minions, because why wouldn't you? Your entire deck is big minions. You can just pull them out already. And you can draw more dragons.
Yeah, that is actually pretty good there. The more you can get out from Deathwing Dragonlord's death, the better it is, of course. But you don't want to go too crazy because of the potential of just a brawl clearing you out as well.
Well, the question is, how many dragons does he actually run? Because we have seen Sarah, Deathwing. Oh, 1.
Ooh, 13 armor.
13 armor for 1 mana.
I didn't go for it this turn. I wanted to get the Laughing Sister down.
I think this seems like a good answer to whatever small taunt minions will get played.
Can't target it with Earthen Skin,
Yeah.
though.
Bad combo, man. Bad combo.
Okay, so I think this might just come down to the Deathwings.
It might come down to the fact
we
that
were joking about it earlier, but I really think
Yeah.
it might come down to
the fact that there's no quest for Best Mammoth for... Can we see how many cards do we have left?
not too many. I would say like 12.
Might be
think?
around that. And we have 1, 2, 3 taunt minions in the hand. Two of those actually in the hand. So not that many left in the entire deck. I'm not exactly sure if he has enough to pull the deck.
Yeah, I don't. He might not actually. He might not get
pull
to
the
that
quest,
point.
sorry.
Yeah, to prot the quest. He might not get to that point at all. Second Earthen Scale means that
Where's
that's
the
just a
shield
lot of
slam?
armor. That's just a lot of armor.
Where are the shield slam for the druid, man? That seems kind of OP.
Yeah. Do you ever just
Well,
can and play them both now?
uh,
Just to
on
get
the Cairn?
that kind of
On the
no
Deathwing?
on the Deathwing.
I mean,
to get that kind of value. 'Cause
the
that- that's
amount
kinda
of health, I don't think like it matters that much. Because you know there's no quest.
Fatigue games, man. Fatigue games. I like this. Like, how often are you going to gain this much armor and this much value from 2 mana? And what it means is you positively trade into the Drake.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you're not dead with the Drake, and you've just gained 27 armor. Kind of crazy. Now Best Mama, without the Warrior quest and the Ragnaros Die Insect hero power, has to effectively kill Purple twice in terms of damage.
Hey, they played enough of Contra Warrior Mirrors to know how to do that.
And now Ken makes the trades kind of awkward because, oh, okay, he's going to go for Sleep with the Fishes, going to see the Deathwing get played, and not going to be able to play Deathwing himself this turn, but he does have Lord of the Arena or the Diehorn Hatchling here. Clears up the Deathwing with the Execute,
But
of course. I
he
forgot he had
can't
Slam.
develop anything on the board.
It's fine, he's got Fire Plume's heart.
Yes!
Let's go.
Fire Plume on turn 16. And he has still 2 Taunt Minions in his hand. The question is, how many does he have in his deck?
He has
And he has only 15 HP.
one's going to be shuffled from the Hatchling.
Yes,
The
all
die.
right,
So
right.
let's you know,
You're
we
right.
know 3. That's 3 at least.
So what do you favor here? The Shaw or this Anaconda? I think it's Shaw. You slam a Shaw, right?
I think Anaconda. It's enough pressure, right? Anaconda's enough pressure, and if it gets killed, Yasharaj hits the board and then wins the game.
But Anaconda doesn't deal with most of the Taunt Minions on its own, right?
You have Swipe
But you
of
have
Wrath.
Swipe of Wrath.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah. Okay.
Drop Anaconda because that is easily enough pressure to finish out this game. And even through taunts, because of Wrath and Swipe, if the board is brawled, or the minions are forced to be dealt with, Yasharaj hits the board. Great, 10-10.
Yeah.
I think Purple is very much setting up checkmate with this play, and we'll see how it turns out. His best man doesn't have many options, and he might just have to risk a Deathwing.
Let's go, Purple. Drop the 30 bomb with the 30
Ooh,
armor.
okay, now he doesn't. He can play Lord of the Arena and Bloodtooth Brave, or Hatchling Bloodtooth. Being able to play 2 taunts this turn versus 1
But it's
changes everything.
still fine because Purple just can easily deal with both of them. Use
Oh.
his hero power as means of trading. And that's actually great.
Yeah, but the difference here is being able to play 2 taunts. 1 starts towards the quest and means he can put 2 roadblocks in the way. Whereas if you just Deathwing, there's 3 taunts gone. Yes, he's probably not doing that quest.
Yeah.
Whereas this, he might still have a chance.
Moonglade Portal. We didn't see that being played in any competitive decks yet. Seems like it found its place right now.
Yeah, it is in this list because there's just not as much healing available. And it's really nice as well because the minions are just pretty big from there. Although I did play against someone today who got the, I can't remember the name of the card, but the 1/1 that summons a 6/6.
Oh, the Ogre.
Yeah, the goblin guy that summons him. He got like a 1/1 from it, and I was like, all right. Feels good. So the Wrath is going to be used to help clear this up.
Oh my god, a
Knight.
Black Knight. Well, that's a
Wow.
tech card that we are starting to see more and more often, especially in just aggressive decks that just curve out on Black Knight.
Yeah, they just want to
yeah.
be able to kill mainly Ali Armor Smith, I think, actually, because that's the one that causes a lot of problems with the high health and the armor gain.
Well, you know, any Taunt Minion that just dies for 0 effort seems like a good choice,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
But yeah, definitely
Ali Armor
correct.
Smith is like the top end target.
Yes. And now look at that. Enough of pressure to actually kill the warrior next turn, and it might be the case that Best Mahmoud will have to pull the trigger, play the Deathwing.
I expect nothing less from Purple, to be honest. I expect nothing less. This has to be a Deathwing, and then he is going to be upset when Yasharaj...
Well, no, he's just dead then.
Yeah,
Swipe hero power.
Oh, that's a good point.
But
Oh,
he
yes,
doesn't.
he can't armor up. He has no other choice.
Yeah, he has no other choice. He needs to
I mean,
Deathwing.
he just punches him with the Yasharaj, though, so it's fine. You definitely don't swipe hero power this turn. Or
Yeah.
maybe you do. You trade Yasharaj into Deathwing, and then go, oops. Oh, okay. Purple's going to finish this one up. There's a reason